everyone, welcome back to another racing video. Today we're at Karting North East for the first round of the championship. Now we are going to jump straight into race 1. We have already done our qualifying, and as you can see we are pretty far back in the field. Now, quick mention, if you don't know already, we now have social media. So we do have an Instagram page, which is Slipper Racing YT. So if you don't already, why don't you jump on and give us a follow? But let's get straight into the action. So as you saw, we didn't have the best qualifying lap, so we are pretty back in the field with Dan Barber right in front of us. But we did manage to get the jump on him on the lights, get that overtake. However, we've not really gained anything at that start. Well, we did make one position, but we didn't lose any, which is always good. And then we are making another space round the actual dog leg, so we are up into 12th. While we are here, you may be able to see the pink overalls just in front. Big shout out to Sam for this one, as she did drive amazing all weekend, which you may see in the position in the final, but well done to her. But it goes to show how competitive this field is, as it's going to be very hard to actually get the top 3 this year. But we are going to definitely do our hardest, so we are able to do the BPEC again. Fingers crossed, but I'm sure you'll see at the end of the year. Now, as you can see, compared to last year, there is quite a big grid of 22, and heavyweights were no different with loads of field. We will also add in the quick finishers are now doing this championship for the year as well, so it'll be great to see them represent someone in the BPEC this year if they are able to get the top 3 in the heavyweight championship. If you don't already, why don't you give their YouTube a quick follow? I've maybe mentioned beforehand, they have their own theme song. I definitely have it on repeat on my Spotify, so why don't you give it a listen and watch that YouTube video for them as well. Now, one lap done, we are into 11th position, but as we can see going down the straight, the person in the red suit has that little bit more top end, which might be an understatement, but to be honest, the rest of the field were leaving me on the straights as well. So we've got to make sure that we keep our speed up around the slow stuff, so we're able to keep our revs up and try to catch them as best we can. As we can see, the front of the pack is starting to slow each other a little bit up, allowing us to catch, so hopefully if they battle a little bit more, we're able to get a couple of more positions. And fingers crossed, they are nice to maybe give me that push down the straight so we can work together. But when you're on the track, you really just want to make the positions yourself, and I don't blame anyone for that. Rewatching this footage back, it is sometimes a little bit frustrating, thinking if it's me or indeed if it's a little bit of lack of kart power catching the people up in front, but let me know your thoughts down below. As we can see, going through the chicane there, felt like I keep enough speed up, but they all managed to get away with from us at top end. But coming into Gasworks on the exit, managing to capitalise on the red person, managed to go for the overtake, leaving a little bit of a door open, and I'll say thank you very much, yes please, let's try and get into there. Try to maybe push them a little bit wide mid corner, but didn't manage to make the move stick, and they are on my inside there. In theory, I should have a lot more speed down the straight with us going around the outside, but again, we can see they're managing to go that little bit faster on the straight, plenty of room ahead and gone. But we are coming to the dog leg, which is possibly one of my strongest part of the track, as we should be able to see me catch right up onto the bumper of the person in the red suit, especially on the exit here, keep enough speed up, and there we go, right in the bumper again. So hopefully, maybe going to the centre, we can maybe make a move, but we will see if he's going to leave that door open. A little bit of body weight to try and push, but we don't have that enough edge just yet, but we can see him looking behind him, seeing where I'm at, so he's going to make a mistake at some point. We can see he's not quite hitting the apexes, and I'm sure we all do this, especially when I'm winning a race or indeed at the front. You just want to keep an eye on the people behind, just to make sure that you don't leave too much of a door open. But we can see him getting a little bit raggy, going around the chicane there, back end sliding that little bit much, which is going to lose him some speed. So maybe this video can come in handy for the person in the red suit. They can see where they were lacking that little bit of speed, especially not as tight to the actual apexes, which has ruined them some speed. But I can't really speak because he's managed to just get away from us now, so we are going to have to really push to try and get any positions, or indeed he's going to have to battle them as well. But we can see Sam making an overtake on the person on the orange helmet, and then the red person getting involved as well. Again, coming to the dog leg, hopefully we can get right on the bumpers again and see if anyone makes that mistake, so we're able to get there. But we are definitely trying at this point. We are struggling a little bit, but we are on lap 4, and I don't think we're doing too bad to keep 11th. I think there was someone pretty close to my bumper as well, as they do maybe give me a little bump at some point. What my reference is as well, if you look on the flexual floor, you can see my shadow, but I try and see if I can see anybody else's shadow who might be around my bumper. Now I will jump a little bit ahead to the end of the race on lap 13, and if we look ahead, they haven't got too far away, but we're definitely nowhere near making any positions up. So in this one we will have to take 11th place, so that means we will be starting in 11th on the next race. Now Dan Barber is also right behind me in this one, which, as you remember, he was the one who maybe got a bad start at the start of this race. However, he is extremely experienced, so we will be starting next to each other on the grid. And if you remember how the championship works here, is that the carts get reversed. So if you start in first place, you get last. So since I'm 11th and there's 22 on the grid, I will in theory be getting Dan's cart. So we do a little switcheroo, and we both weren't having the best of luck with our performance in this one. Right, so we will jump to the start of race 2, which is our final race. So wherever we finish in this one, we will get a trophy. So as the lights go out, we need to make sure we get a good start. Person on the left tried to make a jump start, but however he still managed to get in front of me. Now the person with the green helmet does get a little bit slow here. I decided to just give him that little bit of a tap, so at least we can try and go forward. We've got Andrew or Penfold on our left hand side trying to force his way inside as well. We're about 6 wide at this point, but we've managed to not lose position. We are actually gained a position to 10th place. We're trying to settle in here, but then someone's made that little bit of a nice move, forcing me that little bit wide back to 11th. But we do need to make sure we go as fast forward as we can. And as you normally watch in all my videos, is the start is normally my strongest point, where I am able to make the most positions up, as this doesn't go too much on speed. It is just maybe that little bit of a racecraft, trying to benefit from the best we can. Maybe when I say racecraft, going to the side of that person there, but we managed to make the position stick. Raising that hand to say sorry does make the difference. Now this kart does feel a little bit better, as we can see going through that chicane, making that position, but again we're seeing that person with that white helmet and orange accents make that move to get the position back, so we do settle into 9th place. Now because of how long everybody actually watched the last video, as I will be putting a separate video out with just a raw footage from both races out throughout the week, so at least you can watch it without my lovely voice giving you that talk through all of it. So let us know if you want me to keep that up in the comments down below, or indeed give a like on the next video once they go out as well. So lap 1 done, and there's a little bit of gap of the people in front. However, they are gaggled together, so at least we know they are going to fight, and hopefully we're able to capitalise on that and make some positions. So as we do go through Dogleg, we do get a good exit, try to get that overtake on St John's, but not quite enough for them to see us where they do shut the door. But we are back on the bumper, so to try and get them extra positions. I doubt we are going to get a trophy in this one. We can see Sam in that pink suit absolutely gone, trying to race down Ben and Zach in front, so it doesn't look like there's going to be a trophy for us in this one, but we can try to make it as entertaining as we possibly can. Now as going through the chicane, we try to line up to get the best exit as we can, but they are staying to the white line. Now the person with the black and red helmet tries to go around the outside, and as everybody knows, if you're on the outside, the person on the inside is going to benefit better always. Same with going into this next corner, we try to get the inside line to get us into 7th position, but they are able to hold it round the outside. We're not in the best place. Now we're on the outside. As you can see, we've now lost all them positions. Now the person on our left does get a decent exit, however the person behind us giving it a nice lovely boost. We're able to make that move stick, and we're back into 8th place, and we are going to try and chase down the people in front. Now the next 4 carts are in their own little battle, which means they can possibly slow each other up, which at least we can maybe capitalise on that to make a position or 2. So around the dog leg, staying on the bumpers as best we can. We can see this kart does have that little bit more performance than the last one did, where at least it's not getting too far away. However, we are still trying to use our body weight. Now if we do watch the car in red in front, the person in the white suit doesn't quite see him, gets pushed on the outside, and we are able to make another position there, giving the car in front that little bit boost so they can get that move stuck as well. So we are in the 7th place, going around the chicane, and at least we can maybe get that next move in front. Now I am a little bit worried, as you remember in the last lap someone gives a push down the straight, which means that somebody's got that little bit more legs than I do, and we are coming to the straight next. So we've got to be conscious whether or not we defend or not, or whether or not this person wants to help me go forward. And then I've got to remember who's behind us, as we did do the championship last year. I can remember a couple of drivers such as Dan, who was definitely a good driver, as well as Penfold, who can hopefully give us that little bit of a push. And we'll not forget about Joe, as I'm sure that you've seen it in the start of this video already. So we'll see exactly what happens there. But to be honest, in this championship there is no slouches, as there's even some newcomers who wants to do the championship this year, such as Seb, who does a lot of sim racing and has his own YouTube there, so if you don't mind, give him a follow as the racing ref. But also, I'm sorry if I don't shout out all your names in this one, but I'm sure as we do more of this championship, I'll know your names a lot more in suits and helmet combinations, as it can get very confusing sometimes watching everybody on the track. But also, if you ever see us there, come say hello and say why haven't I give you a shout out, and then make sure I can get you into the next video, of course. Now, there is still plenty of laps left on this race. We are only lap 4, and we can see the person in the white suit and the red helmet getting a little bit conscious of where I'm at, looking over the shoulder. And we know what happens there. People tend to make mistakes, so he is going a bit defensive, so he will try and make the switch back. However, we don't have enough overspeed there, so we make sure we give him that little bit of a boost, as there's no point of us both going slow out that corner, because we've still got to be conscious of the people behind. But we are coming to the straight, so hopefully the person behind us is going to give us that little bit of a boost. Now, if you didn't see there, someone did get black flagged and has actually went into the pits, so we are into 6th position. Now, we are catching this person in front. They are thinking about going defensive. We're going to make sure we make the optimal line, use all the track. We do give him that little bit of a touch, which is putting that little bit wide. He has seen us on the inside there, however he's not making it easy, which at least we're making that racing as fair as we can. I actually receive a little bit of a tap myself, and as we can see, they go through now, so there goes Penfold. So we are then trying to get the next person in front. With us racing all of last year and also doing the 24 hours together, we do have that respect on track, and at least we can have that little bit of a fun. We know where we can push each other, and we know whatever happens on track, nothing's going to take off it. We'll still be friends at the end of it, but hopefully we can work together to try and get that position in front. But Andrew is the type to maybe be still conscious of where I'm at, because he doesn't know if I'm just going to suddenly dive bomb. As we can see, he's defending that little bit, going into Gasworks, which is not going to get him the most optimal run out the corner, but he does have that strong car, as he is getting that little bit of a way on exit. We can see it is quite strong, which we knew that from when he was pushing us down the straight. Now, something what I didn't expect him to do is suddenly go for the overtake on the last corner, which has definitely put the person offline to my left. We are trying to get in the slipstream of Penfold to see if we can make this move also stick. We do have that enough speed to get that position done, so we are into 6th place, and we're able to push Andrew further away to try and get that gap. Now, at the end of the day, we are still racing for a championship due to the fantastic prize Karting North East has to give, which is a full paid round of BPEC for the top 3 drivers in each class. So at the end of the day, each point counts. As we can see, Andrew is still looking behind him, going that little bit defensive, but really I want him to go as far forward as he possibly can, so I'm able to stick into his slipstream, so I can also build the gap from the guys behind. Because as we've seen already, anyone who's looking behind will make them little bit mistakes, even if it's just a 10th or even a milli-tenth here and there. It all adds up to make a difference over the full lap. And with you also conscious of the car behind, you may not be using the full width of the track, and that is the most optimal way to get the fastest lap times of going from the outside of the track to the white line, going to the apex, to again the outside of the track to the white line on exit. But there is still plenty of time left of this race, and we are coming onto the straight, so we'll get a good gauge of how fast his car is or my car is compared to each other. We have just seen him go defensive there, try and give him the hand signal to say, look, let's work together and I'll push you that bit further forward. And that's exactly what we do. Now, as we can see, Joe suddenly came out of nowhere there and has managed to make that move stick around the outside, so well done for him there. Now we are trying to latch onto his bumper so we can try and catch Penfold again, as we will be coming to the end of the race and every position counts for the championship. Now, unfortunately, as soon as Joe's passed us, he's gone like a rocket ship, already on the bumper of Penfold practically. So we've got to make sure that if he does try to overtake, that we're able to catch right back up. Now, Penfold is definitely one of the best defenders that I know, so hopefully he's able to keep him enough behind, and we might be able to get 2 positions for the price of 1, getting closer to the end laps. And that is exactly what happened. So we do jump to lap 11. We can see that Penfold is defending, and Joe's nearly gone round the outside of him there, going at the first corner, but all this is managing for us to catch back up, and hopefully we can get there. Now we can see Joe going left, right, upside down, whatever's happening to try and get the position, but we are now on the bumper, so we'll see exactly what can happen. Now, Penfold isn't going to make this easy for him, but Joe has realised that he is going to go defensive, try to make the same move that he did on me, however misjudged it and give him a little bit of a tap, give that position back, so well done Joe, very respectful there. And I really should have maybe took advantage of that to try and make that move. However, I didn't, or indeed I wasn't smart enough to be honest, or even paying attention to try and do that myself. But we'll see exactly what happens here, because Joe is maybe very excited that he's going to make this extra position, maybe a bit too excited, because then just no, I don't even have words, I don't even know what happened. He decided to think, well, let's try drifting, and I just ended up going into the side of him. Now I've got to be extremely conscious, because I was only able to latch on to Andrew to make a little bit of gap the carts behind. Now I can actually hear and see the carts behind here. I'm having to go defensive, if not I'm going to go backwards, because I think there was about 4 or 5 gaggle, and I know I couldn't keep the speed up to actually get away from them at this point. But we are coming to, again, my strongest part of the track, the dog leg, so hopefully I can get that little bit of a gap so I can have that little bit of a breather space going into the centres. Now go around St John's, not too bad of an exit, and to be honest, I fell asleep again. I wasn't paying attention to the carts behind, left the door right open, and then suddenly someone sticks their nose in there. Now I am making them difficult for them, trying to make them go around the outside going into this next centre, but I'm able to stick it on the inside. However, what I didn't expect to happen is that somebody's trying to go down my inside as well, so that we do lose a position to 8th place here. The person with the white suit and the red helmet has made that stick, but I want to get this back as soon as I possibly can. This same person that maybe got a little bit over defensive beforehand, he's then overshot his braking point. We're able to get the most optimal line and get in front of him there, so back to 7th position, and at least we've got 1 lap left as soon as we cross this start finish line. Unless he made a dive bomb on the last corner, which he didn't, so we are able to have the 7th position. We are going defensive because they are right in our bumper, and since we've been battling, that means the people behind have caught up as well. So we do pretty much white line it going down the straight, and again this time I'm not going to give it as easy going into the centres. So it is the last lap, last battle for a mighty 7th position. Now although that doesn't sound like much, 1st place, everybody who's actually in this field should be very proud of themselves, because there's no slouches anymore. Everyone has been doing this for a while, even the newcomers have had plenty of track time. But when I've had a quick glance over my shoulder there, I can see that the people behind me actually maybe had a battle going around the dog leg, so it has given me that little bit of a breather space, so at least I can concentrate on just trying to take it home to finish in 7th position. But that is it. Hopefully you've enjoyed the first round of the Karting North East Lightweight Championship. If you have enjoyed this footage and want to make footage of your own, I now have a link in my homepage that'll give you a promo offer for the Insta360 which is the camera that I use, and also if you use my promo code you get some extras on all accessories and other cameras if that interests you as well. The next video will also be another one at Warden Law, ready for the Elite karting series, and we will see exactly how we do for that round. But until then, I'll see you on the track next time.